Hello, you're watching VNA News and now headlines. Vietnam and Italy enhance economic cooperation. Requiem calls for better traffic law awareness. Da Nang's tourism sector sees golden opportunities. Visiting Italian President Sergio Mattarella emphasized the important roles of businesses, associations and universities in materializing reforms and innovations and strengthening cooperation between Italy and Vietnam. He addressed the Vietnam-Italy Strategic Dialogue in Ho Chi Minh City on November 8th. President Mattarella said Vietnam and Italy could improve the efficiency of international integration as part of efforts to deepen their cooperation. He noted that similarities in small and medium-sized enterprises structure and difficulties caused by globalization could have connected the two economies. According to Mattarella, successful Italian businesses will act as spokesmen for Italy's cooperative models and cooperation commitments in Vietnam. Deputy Prime Minister Ninh noted that the time was right for both to elevate their economic connections. He suggested they hold frequent discussions on related measures and facilitating links between small and medium-sized businesses, as well as those from regions and localities for cooperation in Italy's strengths of infrastructure, transport, energy, manufacturing and processing. He said that despite global economic setbacks, Italy's trade with Vietnam rose 15% last year, making the country its fourth largest EU trading partner. The country's two-way trade hit $4 billion in 2014, a 17% increase from 2013. Investments from the European country, however, remain modest. By the end of 2014, it ranked 9th in the EU bloc and 28th among foreign investors in Vietnam. Vietnam's Transport Minister Đinh La Thang called for greater public awareness of traffic safety rules during a requiem for traffic accident victims in the northern province of Nam Định on November 8th. The requiem that took place at the Chúc Lâm Thiên Trường Zen Monastery is part of activities in response to World Day of Remembrance for Road Traffic Victims launched by the UN. The requiem, the fourth of its kind so far, is a chance for people to remind themselves and others to act responsibly and do everything they can to make traffic in Vietnam safer and more civilized. Minister Thang, who is also deputy head of the National Traffic Safety Committee, said traffic accidents killed 24 people and seriously injured more than 60 others every day, causing hundreds of families endless pain. He called on agencies, organizations and individuals to share the victims' families' loss and ease their difficulties. Monk Thích Thanh Nhiễu, deputy chairman of Vietnam Buddhist Shanghai's executive committee, highlighted the need to deal with the alarming situation by improving people's responsibility in respecting and observing traffic laws. In the first 10 months of this year, traffic accidents took the lives of more than 7,000 people and disabled hundreds of others. Got-shoe mangoes from Vietnam have now been available on the Japanese market. Let's take a look. The Vietnamese Trade Commission in Japan said some 3.5 tons of got-shoe mango from Vietnam have been imported to Japan and they are sold at Yon malls. It said an additional 80 tons of Vietnamese mango is scheduled to be exported to Japan later this year. According to a representative from Yon Mall, mango is favorite fruit of many Japanese people. However, the price of a Japan mango is more than 10 times expensive than those imported from Vietnam. Flowing mangoes, red fresh dragon fruits are expected to make way to Japan. Revenue of the Vietnam National Coal and Mineral Industries Group in 2015 is forecast to decline 3% from the same period last year. We have more in the following report.
According to the group, the decrease is attributed to drops in both coal prices and demand as compared to 2014. Statistics from the Ministry of Industry and Trade show that Vietnam's clean coal output reached 34.6 million tons in the first 10 months of 2015, 4.9% higher than the same period last year. In October alone, the coal output hit 4.1 million tons, a year-on-year increase of 6.7%. The mining group is planning to produce more than 3 million tons of coal in the 2 remaining months of this year, in order to meet the yearly target of 38 million tons.
The banking sector is racing against time as its major restructuring enters its last phase. Let's find out more. The sector devised a roadmap to restructure credit organizations at the end of 2011 and began implementing the regulations in February 2012. This was the earliest project under the National Economic Overhaul. Following the blueprint, the system has yielded positive outcomes, but the overall pace remains slow and requires drastic moves to meet the deadline. Earlier this year, State Bank of Vietnam Governor Nguyễn Văn Bình said several merger and acquisition deals would take place, including some between healthy banks, in order to expand their scale and boost their performance. In 2015, 8 banks are expected to join the restructuring process. Consequently, the State Bank of Vietnam has taken over all shares in 3 cash-strapped commercial banks, namely the Ocean Bank, Vietnam Construction Bank, and GP Bank, for 0 Vietnam đồng each. The move was designed to ensure the legal rights and interests of existing depositors. Excluded from these extensive changes, banks that have performed well are increasing their chartered capital to secure their finances. A representative from the Bank for Investment and Development of Vietnam said the restructuring has been going well thus far. The market is becoming stable and interest rates are decreasing. Most reform measures have been carried out on a voluntary basis without state interventions. With its natural beauty, international quality resorts and entertainment centers, the Central City of Da Nang is considered as the leading tourism area in Vietnam. But it seems the city still has a lot of work to do before it can fully tap its potentials.
Over the past 5 years, Da Nang's tourism sector has witnessed concrete growth, contributing to the city's budget, attracting high-quality human resources, and elevating its name as a traveler's hotspot. The city boasts a number of professionally prepared tourism events, such as international fireworks competitions, high-standard resorts, beautiful beaches, and numerous cultural festivals. Recently, Da Nang's Department of Culture, Sports and Tourism announced that the city's tourism sector will rake in an estimated $528 million this year, 3.8 times higher than in 2010. This year, Da Nang has welcomed 1.1 million international tourists, making up 15.5% of the country's intake. Within the next 5 years, Da Nang aims to welcome 8 million tourists, 2 million of whom will be international travelers.
The town is nice. I like the mixture of old and new buildings next to each other. Everyone seemed very friendly. I went and got a drink earlier on. All of the staff were very nice, and all the people I've seen on the street have been smiling at me, and everyone seems very happy.
To achieve these goals, the city has plans to roll out some major activities to stimulate tourism. In early 2016, Da Nang will be one of the destinations for the world-famous 2015 to 2016 Clipper race. This will be followed by the biannual Asian Beach Games in June, which is expected to bring in some 7,000 athletes from around the world, as well as their fans. Moreover, Da Nang will be hosting the APEC Summit Week 2017, welcoming 21 leaders from APEC member economies, along with 15,000 delegates and 6,000 international reporters. These events are golden opportunities for the Central City's tourism industry to showcase itself to the world, not only from local advertising, but through the lens of world media.
Da Nang's tourism industry has seen significant successes, particularly with the increase in the number of tourists, both domestic and international. And with the Clipper race and the Asian Beach Games coming soon, Da Nang will mark itself as a city full of events.
Thành also said meeting the city's goals will be no simple task. It will require cooperation between local administrations and the people of Da Nang. But above all, Da Nang must improve its product's quality, especially in services and infrastructure, to meet the demands of the world community.
Between 2015 and 2020, Da Nang's tourism sector will need to continue ranking in the same level of success as in recent years, so it can meet its goal of becoming the city's leading economic sector.
The official added, with a solid foundation and creative plans moving forward, Da Nang will surely be able to overcome obstacles and rise to new heights.
While the public remains anxious about the influence of modern music, many children in the capital city of Hanoi are interested in, and some are even learning the music that their grandparents once taught them. Join us at the Traditional Music Club to see how folk culture is being preserved and upheld.
For decades, the sounds of traditional music and the image of kids passionately playing music instruments under the shade of trees has been a familiar sight for local residents at the ancient Hào Nam communal house in Hanoi. The children are of all ages, with the youngest only 5 years old, all sharing a burning passion for the traditional music of the homeland.
Children nowadays normally choose to learn how to play Western instruments, such as guitar, piano, or electric instruments. But not so many are interested in traditional music. I think my class will help preserve traditional music instruments and inspire more kids.
Since the very beginning of the class, artists Mai Phương and Thanh Thư have devoted their time, dedication, and appreciation for traditional music to pass its quintessence on to the youth, with the hope that each of them will contribute to developing the music of the homeland. No lecture hall, no academic curricula. They simply let the kids access the music in the most natural, practical, and easy ways.
We don't think of the profits, just teaching the kids to play traditional music instruments. I would feel guilty if I didn't share the beauty of the nation's traditions and musical instruments with them.
For decades, we have preserved traditional music on documents and papers. But what brings the folk music to life is by teaching people to preserve it.
In the cultural space of the ancient communal house, the music and children's laughter resonate, creating a unique sound, the sound of faith in the young generation, who will preserve and uphold the traditional values of the country.
And that has wrapped up our news bulletin. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye for now.